I found something very interesting. Every time you look at Russia and the United States, pretty much everybody gonna show a map or compare them over the Atlantic Ocean. You're gonna see here, right? It's the United States of America, and on the other side, right here, it's gonna be Russia. And judging by those, you're gonna say there's a huge distance between them, especially if you calculate from the east coast or even from the west coast, from the cities, the main cities to Russia, which pretty much Russia is mainly, especially the population in the part of the Europe, and then in the Far East, not much is going on there. But I want to know what's the closest distance between Russia and the United States. And for that, you have to go on the other side of the globe, or you just go above. You can see right here, you have those two pieces of land that are getting very close to one another. But you can actually swim if the sea is not frozen. You can swim from Russia to America very quickly, or if it is frozen, you can actually walk. So there is a land when you can actually walk from Russia to the United States, and here is the Alaska, and in this part of the Russia is Far East. If you zoom in here, you're gonna find those two islands, and they are very close to each other. And to prove that, I'm gonna go here, and you're gonna see exactly this line right here, and we have those two islands. One, this part, it's on the United States, you can see right here, and the other one is gonna be on the Russia, you can see right here. So the difference between those two countries are much smaller than you can actually believe, because when you look at that, I thought for the first time this is the Russia and this is the United States, and that's the distance between them, but you can be much closer. Now, what's happening on those two islands? Let's check them very quickly. Like I said, the east side, you're gonna call it, is the United States, and the west side is gonna be Russia. First of all, let's check how much is the distance between them. We're gonna go here. Let's go from this point here to this one. So you're gonna see like 3.7, 3.8, let's say, kilometers. So in 3.8, I think you can walk to that distance in less than an hour if it's frozen, or you can swim it in, let's say, an hour, maybe quicker than that, depends on you. Now, the graphics on this part of the world is not very clear, but let's start with the United States. Let's see what we can find of the United States map, and we can actually measure the elevation, I think, with this one. In the United States, the elevation is around, let's say, 500 meters at tops. Around the best, I would call it, it's 500 meters. So you can see it's pretty much a mountain that raises up from the sea. But the question is, there are any construction here? As you can see, this on this part of the island, you have some images when it's frozen. On the other side, it's not exactly that much frozen. And this one is gonna face, this part is gonna face the United States. And under this part, we can find some construction. Let's see. On this part is nothing. So the United States part, I cannot find it. On the Russian side, you can see right here, we are facing Russia directly. We can find those construction. Obviously, we cannot have a 360, or at least I cannot see it from here, and I cannot find it not even on the map. But you can see some construction in this area. I have no idea what they are. I don't think they are exactly military, but also I don't see the point having a small community on this part of the island that far away from a continent with pretty much the sea freezing right there. So on the American side, we have some construction right here facing Russia. Let's check the Russian side right now. Now the Russian island is much bigger. I would say like 5-6 times bigger than the United States island, and you can see the elevation. I think also it's around 500 meters, so not that much difference in elevation between those two islands. But let's see if we can find some construction, and if you find it on each side we can find it. So you can see here we have to make pictures from the satellites. This one probably it's in the summer, the other one in the winter. I don't know why they do it like that and not just make it one clear one, but we can find some construction even here on the Russian side. And also I do not think they are military, because first of all they look kind of old, but also it's very small for a community. But this face is the north part, not directly from the American side, so we can see. Now who knows what might be inside the mountains. Maybe it could be some military base, but here on the surface you can see not that much happening, but it's very interesting to see. They have a small beach here, I would say, when the water from the mountains goes down, and we can find all those small construction, I will call it, which I don't know what purpose they have, but like I say, they don't look military to me, at least from this part, and also they do not look like someone wants to just sit there. This one, I would say, it looks very weird. I would say it looks like a helicopter. if you just look at that, a shadow of a helicopter, but maybe it's just an error from the satellite images. So on the Russian side, I don't see any construction actually facing directly the American island, but from here you can see, you cannot actually see the American island, but you can see the main continent, which is right there, right here. So that's, I think that's much more interesting for me. We have actually we can actually walk, let's say, from Russia to United States if it's cold enough outside and the sea is frozen, or we can actually swim it if you can tolerate that temperature. But let's check something else. We don't have not even an image from this part of the United States, but we have here an airfield very close, and also some construction in this area, which I have no idea why somebody wants to live that far away. But again, I'm not expert, but I don't think they look like a military infrastructure. But there are definitely people living there, especially if you have this airfield right there to just easily arrive. There is another island, a very small one, but not that much clear. And I believe that it is on the United States side also. On the Russian side, I cannot find anything, especially in this part, that close. The only thing I can find is this part of, let's say, establishment for the people, but again, don't think they have anything to do with the military. But also it's a bit far from those islands, not exactly in direct contact. But on this side, let's see if we can find something. We have some nice beach, but again, we don't have any 360 here. Nobody, it looks like he went from here. At least they don't allow to just put one there. That would be extremely interesting to see it. So as you can see here, the Russia and America is actually much closer than I actually believe. And also, I'm curious if those two islands right here, they were ever gonna was used, especially in the Cold War, for espionage or for, who knows, changing prisoner or stuff like that, because they are looking like the most remote border, and also from those two major powers, to just be able to walk from an island to another and just meet in half. That would be like a great movie scene, I would say, right here. It is interesting how closer they actually are. Without even consider it, there could be an island that small. Let's check from the continent, from curiosity, how much it is from here to, let's go here. So 83 kilometers. not that far. Also, you can make that trip probably in an hour or maybe less than an hour with a speedboat. So yeah, you can actually see how much closer they are together, especially here in the North Pole. And now, of course, the North Pole is frozen, but who knows, maybe with time you can actually have some nice trips from Alaska or Canada to the actually, let's say, St. Petersburg ride there. Just not exactly St. Petersburg, but still on the northern Russia. That would be interesting to see in the future. So yeah, that was the video, I guess. What I want to show is how actually those countries closer geographically actually are, and I'm not sure why they didn't develop that much, because it could be like a nice thing to just go from Russia to America. Like 83 kilometers, especially with those two islands right here. I believe you can make a bridge if you have enough money just to connect those two countries. That would be extremely interesting to see America and Russia having actually a border, a land border between them. And you can just drive there. You can drive from United States to Russia, and also you can drive from the North America to Asia. That would be something interesting to watch. But yeah, that was the video, I guess. I highly doubt that somebody from those regions, from Alaska or from the East Russia, watching those videos to comment on them and see if they actually go on one of those islands or go closer to them on the continent. I see people, like I said, I see people on both sides, but I don't think they have probably they have internet connection. Wait, highly doubt that they just watch my videos. They don't even have a Google Street View here or a 360, so clearly not that much interest for that area. And on the Russian side, it's pretty much the same story. Nothing there, not even a 360 or a Street View. You can see from America you have some dots around here. From the Russia, find something right here, so far away. That's why they call it the Far East in Russia. So yeah, that was the video. If you like it, check my other videos and see you next time.